What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Happy Saturday morning. What's going on? Morning settings. Welcome to your latest Man United transfer news, your Man United transfer updates, your Man United squad discussion, your daily dose of Man United football content. So, what have we got for you today? It is a little bit quiet. But what we were seeing yesterday, kind of back end of yesterday, as well, Sky reporting, I think it was Darmesh and some other outlets as well, talking about the Paul Pogba situation, his contract, how he views it, because we haven't really seen much from the Pogba side of things. And this isn't set in stone. These were some big reports from some decent outlets, so we can get into it. It's not set in stone. It doesn't mean 100% Paul Pogba is going to sign a contract and is going to stay at Manchester United, but it does give a very good discussion point for us to get our teeth into this morning. Also, a little bit about SOLSKJAER'S clear out as well. I saw a report in the Daily Mirror that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has up to 9 players available for the exit door at Manchester United. Will all 9 players go, in my opinion? Obviously not. I can't see that type of max exodus. But in terms of selling to kind of kick on, it needs to happen to fund the Camavinga deal, they're saying, and to get Trippier late in the window as well. So a little bit of an update on that. As per usual, though, housekeeping rules. You lot know what you need to do, man. Let me know where you're watching from. I usually do ask for a weather report, weirdly enough. I don't know why I do it. It's just a new thing. I don't know. Like, we just started doing it on the United View when I got gas when the weather here was good. And ever since, I feel like it's a bit of a ritual that I got to keep up. So let me know where you're watching from and what the weather's saying. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think, should we make that? Should we make that like a thing? Do you not want that, or am I just being stupid? Like, flex, fuck it, like, talk about football. No one cares about the weather. I just think it's a nice thing to do. Do you know what I mean? Oh, where you from? What's the weather like? Because people are watching from all over the world. So let's go. Let's go in the comments and let's see. It's the UK in you. It says Vincent Brown, 100%. Fortin Heath, weather is dead, said Eagle-Eyed Football. Big up flex. It's kind of sunny in Kenya. Watching from sunny Manchester. It's not that sunny up there usually, so we enjoy that. The real MG11 says it's dull and miserable in Birmingham. We've got Birmingham side of the place. We've got South Africa from Keegan with palm trees. 30 degrees in Spain. Stratford, dead weather. It's so funny when you get the vet. That's why I like doing this, because you get like such a range. You got Timmy Adams says big up from Cape Town. It's a beautiful day. And then you got Ali from Stratford who says it's dead weather. It's just a nice little community. Hold tight, Sharik. Cloudy in Luton. Okay. Watching from Stretford, watching from Zambia. From Nepal is 33 degrees Celsius. So there you go. There is your weather. You know, sunny with northeasterly breeze coming in from the west at about 3 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe I could be a weatherman in another pastime. But let's get to the football anyway. That's what you guys are here for, and that's what we want to talk about. My auntie used to live there. Hold tight, God rest her soul. Jared from Bermuda says, morning flex from Bermuda, 5:45 a.m. Sticky and humid right now. Haven't been to Bermuda since I was a really little kid. Such a little island, but a great place. So big up any Bermudians in the place. Right, no more weather. Right, you lot are playing on my heartstrings now. Big up my auntie, man. God rest her soul. Right, Paul Pogba. Now, this was from Sky, and they were reporting that Paul Pogba is open to staying at United. He's interested in seeing the project at United. And even though he might not sign a deal now, that doesn't necessarily mean he won't sign a deal during the remainder of this contract. And it kind of made me think of things in a different way. It kind of did. And I want to get you guys' thoughts on this as well. I've been very stern, I wouldn't say stubborn, but very clear in my mind of the option and the kind of scenario and the way I want this scenario to play out from the start with Paul Pogba. My thing is that if he's not going to sign, we can't go into the season with him having not signed. I just think it's too unsettling. I think it raises too many eyebrows and will bring too much questioning as the season goes on, whether we start good or bad. Having seen that news, am I open to kind of looking at it a bit differently from a Paul Pogba situation? I'd probably say yes. You know, the Sky went on to say that, you know, Pogba's basically saying he's aware that this is his last big contract, and if he doesn't get this right for himself. I know us as fans are like, whatever, just sign. It's Man United, biggest club and the greatest football club in the world. Why would you not want to be here? But at the end of the day, it's a job for these players. It's a career for these players. If he doesn't get this right, then he may regret it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I suppose from that element, I have to look at it and be a bit more humbled and say, it's a big decision for him to make. I know people who want him to leave anyway or can't be bothered to wait are like, just sell him if he doesn't sign. And I'm one of them. I was one of them. I kind of am one of them. But I'm still open to saying, well, you know what? Maybe this is going to take a little bit of time. And maybe, just maybe, this goes into the 50-50 that I've always said could happen. The first 50-50 is that he doesn't sign and he goes into the season, but he's playing really well. He sees that we're going in the right direction and he re-signs. You know, that could be amazing. If in theory, Pogba re-signing at a really good, crucial point of the season, say he re-signed in like October, November when we were doing really well, it can give you that extra boost and be really positive. But the second bit of the 50-50 is completely the opposite to that. And maybe because I'm a little bit of a pessimist and I'm a bit of a worrier, I wouldn't gamble on that 50-50. I would just try and sort it out now. And clearly Man United are trying to do that. But what are they supposed to do if Paul Pogba says no, or if Paul Pogba keeps saying, I'm going to wait? The Rafael Varane situation and Jadon Sancho situation clearly helps things. It definitely does, because what he's managed to do is being shown intent, being shown aggressive intent from Manchester United, as well as if we get other people as well. And the quicker he either lets them know that he isn't going to sign, but he definitely will stay, then Man United will feel they can make some moves. Do you know what I'm saying? Flex, what do you think about Haaland next summer, says Josh Cox. I'll talk a little bit about that later on. I mean, I think I really do have a scenario in my head for that. David Lee, one of the mods, says like, share and subscribe, guys. Big up yourself. And this is interesting. Shristha says, Pogba acting like a drama queen again. If he doesn't sign before the window closes, it's going to bring a lot of drama. And I suppose that was kind of my gut feeling, so I agree with you there. Nicholas says, hey Flex, hope you're doing well. Hope you're good, bro, and the family as well. They are, yeah. Appreciate that. And VFL Jogs says, hey Flex, Pogba has to go. Letting his agent flaunt him to Liverpool to put the club under pressure. Listen, just real quickly on that one, VFL, I don't think there was a... Actually, Rayola's capable of anything, but I think that was the most... I think the media were just bored that day. There's not really much news. There's not really much going on. I tell you what, let's just say like a little Raiola offered Pogba to Liverpool sort of thing. That was the biggest load of nonsense I've seen in ages. But I suppose you're saying that Rayola's capable of anything, innit? But yeah, he has to go. Where was that? I wanted to finish off your comment. Oh yeah, flaunting Paul Pogba to Liverpool to put our club under pressure. Pogba should go this window. If no move, he trained with the under-23s. I'd rather have McFred all season. Wow, VFL leaving no stone unturned. Let the man go, Flex, says Sean B. Look what happened to Liverpool when they let Coutinho go. It had a massive improvement on the whole team, where they strengthened the squad, and that's what you need to win the Premier League title. Wow. So it's really, there's not really much people saying, I really hope he stays. Is there anyone who really wants Pogba to stay and doesn't mind that he's taking this long if the right resolution comes? Because, look, I just want what's best for Man United, isn't it? And I think my real decision is being driven from not really knowing. My real decision is driven from not knowing what comes after Pogba not signing. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I want the best for the club. I know the best for the club would just be to get him signed up, in my opinion, to get him signed up so that there's nothing there to go into next season. No controversy, no drama. You know what I mean? No bad energy. We know we got our players and we can move on. That's best for the club. But in reality, I suppose I have to accept that it just doesn't work like that. And it could be a 50-50. Junior G says he will snake us again. Sharik says, if we sell Pogba, you trust the board to get a replacement. Whole different show that is. I agree with you there. Addicted Gamer says, I hope he stays no matter what. He's been our best player since he came back. And there's a lot of people who feel like Addicted Gamer. Just, you know, and it's people that I was speaking to after the QPR game, after the Brentford game, they were saying just give Pogba what he wants. We've been screaming out for players, for the money to be spent on the squad. It ain't our money. We ain't getting it back as fans. We spend money on the club, and all we ask for is that money to be spent on players, on the training ground, on the stadium, etc., on the youth team and the infrastructure. That's all we ask for. So if it's going to be spent on trying to retain Paul Pogba, some people are like, just pay it. Pogba should stay. It will be hard to replace him, but go get Neves as well, says Mad Dog 1288. And that's true. Look, I think Pogba staying is what's gonna be the catalyst for our next set of plans. I really do think that, and that's why I've been so keen to get the Pogba thing done, because like I said, that's best for us right now. But clearly there's two sides to it. There's the player and then there's the club, innit? And I just think we have to remember that. I have to remember that. It's hard because you get emotionally invested on one side because that's your opinion and that's how you feel. And it's true. You could be true to that. But you have to remember that Paul Pogba does have a big decision to make. This is his last big contract. You know, is he going to rush it? No. Is he going to just sign it because Rafael Varane's there? No. Is he going to, you know, change his mind after one conversation with Ollie? No. I feel like it's going to be a long drawn out situation, which is what we're seeing. Like I said, MEM News reported, I think the day before yesterday, kind of putting out there that Pogba is, he's settled and he's happy with his young family and his wife in Manchester, i.e. Is that looking like he's going to stay? Because it's a lot for him to move. I don't think it, me personally, outside looking in, I don't think it'd be a lot for him to move to France. Of course it wouldn't. How would it be? Do you know what I mean? He's got 2 young kids. I don't know the ins and outs of their schooling and stuff like that, but you know, daddy's French. He's won the World Cup with France. I believe his missus is French. I could be wrong, but I believe she is. So going back to France, I don't think would be too much of an issue unless I don't know what you guys think. Hayata says, I'd like him to stay. Thanks for the super chat. But we've got to make this deal quick. A lesser distraction when the season is on. And exactly, you're coming from where I'm coming from, Hayata, which is, you know, the best thing for the club, which is to get this done real quickly. But clearly, that isn't going to happen as it stands. Brian Coe says Pogba has the right to leave. For many part of his time here, we were reliant on him to provide anything until Bruno came. He was sold a dream when joining, but no other investments came in to achieve it. You know, has this squad been built properly around Paul Pogba? No, not until I'd say now, and that's the frustrating thing. Now is where Pogba can probably look at that squad for the first time in, what has he been here, 5 years? This is the first time he can really look at that squad, in my opinion, and say, you know what, it's shaping up. Oh, his wife is Bolivian. Okay, says Ilias. Apologies, I didn't know that. But it's the first time where Pogba can look around him and go, Bruno, Cavani, yeah, Sancho, my boy, Varane. My boy, Martial's already here. Greenwood coming through. We can do something here, you know. Oh, a midfielder coming next to me. We can do something here. And those are the reports that we're seeing. I do think it's very important to remember that the reports that we are seeing are not saying that Pogba has fallen out of love with the club. He doesn't like it. You know, he really, really wants to force a move. You know, if the right money comes in, like they're saying, it can happen. It can happen, you know? So for me, I do see it as a situation of it's a waiting game. And the more this is playing out, I never thought there could be a situation where he signs like next week or the week after. I don't think he'll sign before the season starts. But the more this is going on, I'm seeing it like this is going to go into the season. But where I was like, if he doesn't sign, he's definitely going to run it down for free. After seeing that report and kind of maybe looking at it from in a bigger way, I was a bit more like, you know what? Maybe that could happen. Maybe the positive side of the 50-50 that I don't really want to see could play out in our favour. But it's just a gamble, and it's a gamble that I didn't really want to see happen, if I'm being deadly honest with you. Keegan says, my biggest issue is that Pogba is more of a flair player and is not efficient or consistent enough. The odd go or pass isn't enough. He should go, says Keegan. So consistency issues there. I don't think people can argue that Pogba hasn't been lived up to what we thought he would. I don't think we can. I don't think you can argue that. I think even the most staunchest Pogba fans, who ride out for Paul Pogba no matter what he does, I think even they can understand that. You know, he hasn't lived up to his heights. But I do think that's for a variety of reasons. What my question is when people say that is, even though it could be true in the case of Paul Pogba, is who the hell has been mad consistent in that time? I know Bruno in his short time has, but he's got the help of Pogba and has come into a pretty okay team that's building with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and, you know, Luke Shaw going up levels and stuff like that. Those players weren't there when Pogba was doing his thing. Greenwood now, emergence of him, Cavani. You know, he's had a bit more help than Paul Pogba had. Paul Pogba, no disrespect, had to play with like Andreas Pereira and at the time Jesse Lingard, at the time Mata imbalanced on the right hand side. He had to play with Matic for large points. You know, it just wasn't the same team. Right back Ashley Young, left back Luke Shaw, fair enough. Smalling and Jones, or Smalling and Rojo, and just, you know, or Bailly, and he's just played with loads of different players that aren't where we're at now. Interesting here. Who said that? Someone said Arsenal are spending more money than us. Where is that? I've got to find that because there you go. Manchester United says, Flex, how are Arsenal spending more than us? They don't have Europa and Champions League, already 70 million plus, and apparently the Milan striker is a done deal. Listen, don't look at things at the money going out. Essentially, look at the 2 players we've bought versus the 2 players they've bought, or 3, or whatever they've bought. Don't compare us to Arsenal and our spending. We've just got 2 of the best, most exciting players in world football. We have, and I know technically they haven't spent more. Well, they haven't spent more than us because of the installments. Like, you could say they have, but 73 million on what's his face, on Jadon Sancho, and what? 40 odd million on Varane. You know, that's over well over 100 million pounds, but I know the installments don't make it that. But whatever, I don't care about Arsenal. They've bought Ben White and fucking some, you know, a young midfielder that we ain't heard of before. Whatever, he might be good, I don't care. But don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry, we're good. We've had a great window so far. It's just about capitalising that. So don't worry, Manchester United. Just keep calm. Don't worry about what they're doing. They're Arsenal. Angie S says, Pogba is an emotional guy and thrives with the love and support under Ollie. I agree with that. He is a great player, but we as a club need to be smart. Give him a date like the 15th of August to sign, or put him in the market. Do Man United play the poker face? That's the million-dollar question. Do Manchester United do the poker face? You know, I'm not a great poker player, as some of you may have saw on that video with Triple Eight Poker. I'm not a great poker player, but do they play their hand? Do Man United say, listen, if you're not done by the 15th, we're putting you on a transfer list? I don't think they do that though. And I'll tell you why. I don't think they do that, because if they did that, it would. Yes, in some ways it will show intent and showing that we're serious and we want a resolution. But in another way, where you're saying Pogba likes to feel the love and the backing 100%, almost like he needs his ego stroked, his ego massaged into wanting to stay and make sure that we still want him. If you did do that, that would basically say, well, you only want me up until this point. So how much do you really want me? That's what it looked like to Paul Pogba. From a business point of view, of course, we can't wait around all day. We need to get it done. I understand that. But, you know, like you just said there, Paul Pogba likes to feel loved. And I think if they did do that and start putting restraints on him and deadlines, he will be like, well, okay, fuck it, I'll just run down my contract and I'll just... The thing is Man United can't do that. Actually, Man United can't do that. They can't do that because Paul Pogba has all the power. If they say we were going to put you on a transfer market, well, then you can put me where you want, mate. I've got a year left. You know what I mean? There's no way you're going to want me to be here because I've refused to move to PSG because the money wasn't right or whatever. And I'll just go there next year on a free because I want to actually do one more year, but I don't want to sign. There's no way you're going to be happy with me training under 23s and have all that negativity around the season. And I know people do say they do that, to put him in under 23s and things like that. The reality is, look at what Ollie's building. Look at the harmony in the dressing room. They will find a way that if Paul Pogba stays, he plays. There's no way they can afford to have Paul Pogba staying, even though he hasn't signed a deal, not playing. No matter what we think of it as fans, you may think that's outrageous because no, Flex, he hasn't committed his future. We don't know where he stands, so why should he play? But at the end of the day, we still pay his wages. If you stay at a club where you haven't re-signed, you're expected to be professional. Which, to be fair, on the pitch, Paul Pogba's never been anything but. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not in the camp. I'm definitely, although I want him to sign or be sold, and I'm coming around to the fact that might not happen now. I understand that. If he does stay and doesn't sign, I won't be one of the people saying, oh, don't play him, leave him out the match day squads. No, we're paying him fucking 200 and whatever grand a week, whatever he's on. He's a world-class player. We're building a great squad, and with him in the team, we're a better team, and I want Manchester United to be a better team. If that means we're only going to be a better team for only 9 months of the season because that's how long he's going to stay for, then so be it. We'll have to deal with it in the summer. But the most important thing is the team. Once that first whistle goes against Leeds, it's going to be a long old season. And I want us to do well. And if Paul Pogba's still there, I'm not going to cut my nose off to spite my face and say, you're getting bombed in the under-23s, unless he does something really bad. At the end of the day, we've got to remember, we put ourselves in this situation, you know, by allowing him to do that from way earlier. Do you know what I'm saying? We got to a stage where we just pressed the button to extend the deal. You know, that was the option that was a trigger. We just pulled the trigger. So he ended up having an extra year. Pogba didn't re-sign. That was from the first original deal from when we bought him. So we can't chat shit about that. And then in that time, we haven't managed to negotiate him in a new deal, and we've left it to now. So, you know, for one reason or another, we are in this situation for two reasons. One, because Paul Pogba hasn't maybe wanted to sign or maybe talk about it earlier. And two, maybe we wasn't as forceful. So he holds a lot of cards. Tabarez says, Pogba is the best pure midfielder in the world, but we have a manager that will use him on the left. Of course, he wants to leave. Actions speak louder. Tabarez, always been Ollie out. I think with that, I do think, you know, that did speak volumes of how Solskjaer does see Paul Pogba, though. Like the fact that he was playing him out on the left, which in some games really worked, in some games it didn't. The fact that he's willing to do that on most games towards the end of the season shows wonders, because he doesn't trust Paul Pogba by himself as a six to put in enough energy, enough work rate. And also the person beside him in Fred or McTominay, he doesn't trust them to do that job by themselves. So I think that's a bit unfair to label that all on Pogba, because it isn't. It isn't all on Pogba. Do you know what I mean? That was a tactical thing of what we're trying to come away from. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to come away from that by going to get a midfielder. Shout out to someone just said I need an update on CDM. I wanted to talk about that real quickly. Where are they? They're gone. Apologies. You know who you are if you said it in the 3-6 though. The latest update on the defensive midfielder is, we are chasing Camavinga. We're still very, very interested. The last is what we heard from Fabrizio Romano, if you missed that a couple of days. Man United are interested. We're interested in Goretzka if he can't find a financial package for himself at Bayern Munich. We do want to sort it out. But it's dependent on what happens in this next couple of weeks about Paul Pogba. And, which I'm going to get into next as the next part of the show, the mass clear out, you know, the bring and buy sell, the Blue Peter badge sell that Solskjaer might have, with up to 9 players being available to leave the club. Tabarez says, Ollie can promise whatever he wants. Pogba needs to see it. Pogba's issue now is that no one can afford him. Therefore, he must wait one more year to get out. We'll see. And that looks like a very viable scenario, to be fair. It's true. It is. It looks like a very viable scenario. Jane Sanchez says, a United car passing by and its engine goes United view. What's made you think of that? Big up Flex. How was the Preston drive? Says G421. Luckily, I'm here in my house chilling, not driving up to Preston. I say luckily, I was looking forward to it. I wanted to go, actually. So, and more importantly for the squad, they're not getting the games that they need. So they're going to have to pencil in something behind closed doors. I'm pretty sure of that. But we'll see. Moving on. So the next bit was, I saw that the Mirror, as a report from the Mirror, take that as you will. But I thought it was an interesting talking point, because it's not only from the Mirror that we've seen this, the sort of needing to sell to bring players in, and Solskjaer wanted to kind of get rid of the dead wood. It feels like every year we have a batch of dead wood to get rid of. Before I carry on, nearly 900 people watching as well live. Smash a like on the video. That is dope. Can we get to 1,000 watching lives early Saturday morning? What are you lot saying? You lot got that in you? 1,000 people watching live. Let's try and get there, peeps. Let's try and get there. And make sure you hit subscribe in the bottom right hand corner. But yeah, what we have seen is a lot. Every summer we're like, we need to get rid of Deadwood. We need to get rid of this player. How is this player still here? How are they on that much money and they don't play? What's going on? Why is he on such a big contract, etc., etc.? Happens every year. I dare say it happens a lot of clubs, especially clubs like us who are trying to get back to something that resembles success. Take teams like City and teams that have been winning, teams like Liverpool who don't have that deeper squads. It's a bit different, but Deadwood happens in a lot of teams. Having said that, you look at the amount of players that could potentially be out of the door or up for sale or up for loan. This is what the Mirror are claiming, which this is why I want to talk about it, because it wasn't that far-fetched. The players that are being mentioned as the 8 or 9 players or so that are available that we would happily get rid of and bolster the squad with extras are quite viable. It was Axel Tuanzebe on loan, Dan James, Phil Jones, Alex Telles was one of them, although I wouldn't include him because we'll be back to square one needing someone cover for for Luke Shaw. Brandon Williams, I think Jesse Lingard, Andreas Pereira, that's 7, and I'm missing another one. And I think it was Matic, 8. And if you want to add a 9th, you could argue, did I say Phil Jones already? I think I did. Eric Bailly maybe, because he might not play. So that's about 9 players. Of course, all 9 of them players are not gonna go. Of course not. And that would be stupid. You can't just let 9 players go. Some people are even saying Fred as well. Big up to people who are saying that. But a lot of those guys do need to go. Will Phil Jones? I mean, I saw that Newcastle were in for Phil Jones. I saw Aston Villa were in for Axel Tuanzebe and Newcastle. There's these Lazio links with Andreas Pereira. And actually, as I look at the news while I'm live, there's a little bit breaking on Kieran Trippier from Jonathan Schrager, who basically says Kieran Trippier will return to Madrid tomorrow and will meet with manager Diego Simeone on Monday to discuss his situation. So watch this space on that. But I did see a little something on Andreas Pereira. He was basically saying it would be nice to wear his shirt. If he, he must be talking about a player. I'm not going to go into the teases Man United transfer exit. Okay, so Andreas teases Manchester. That's from the Manchester Evening News. But that's not news. We know that Pereira is going to be one of the first out the door. But we can raise a good bit of peas from some of the players there. If between Lingard and Pereira, if they were to leave, I'm saying that should be 50 million for them two. Minimum 40. And that's enough to go and get our defensive midfielder on top of adding a little bit more money on. Lingard should go for about 25 to 30 million pounds. Innit? He should. Let's say, I think 30. Man United proven, England quality, played in big games. He's won stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's gone to West Ham and still proved, obviously, in the Prem, it's a breeze for him. He can play in the right team. Easy. Lingard, 30 million. And Pereira, I know we we set a 22 million euros price tag. Again, Man United tax. He's got I'm sure Pereira must have over 100 appearances for United easy. What's he going to be worth? 15 to 20 million? Probably more like 15. So there's your 45 million right there. That there can be reinvested. And then you keep Paul Pogba. Bang. Go and get the defensive midfielder. Do you know what I'm saying? Go and get it. Why not? And that for me is the key. If you can secure money by players who haven't even been here before, this is what I said, through players that we haven't even played, like Pereira wasn't there, Dallow's another one. He could go for 15 million. So before you know it, we could have raised 60 million from selling them 3 players who weren't even here last year. So that's not even staying away from, that's not even doing the whole, that's staying away from the players who have been there for ages and not getting any game time. We can raise it. I'm seeing here on Twitter as well that Aston Villa have accepted the bid from Manchester City as well for £100 million. Someone I speak to quite well, who knows quite a few things, told me a while ago about the City to the Grealish to City thing. It is what it is. It's a reminder, though. I tell you what it is. We'll talk about it real quick. Obviously, we were the ones making moves quickly and got our targets in. We got to focus on ourselves. And the reason why we were so happy about getting those targets is really because we have to do our thing. We have to focus on us. Other teams are going to get even better when they're already better than us, like City. Arguably Liverpool, you could say they're better than us because the last couple of years they have been, but not last year they weren't. Obviously they were awful, but they've got what they've got. They've got the manager there to be able to and once their injuries come back to kind of be something that resembled the Liverpool from the year before and the year before that. So we had to be on our shit. Look, the Jack Grealish to Man City situation, I think, is this. As you were. Is it long for everyone else? Yeah. You look at it on face value. All right, I haven't got a strike at us yet. what's that? If they put like, I don't know, Rodri or Fernandinho, who I think re-signed in the holding midfield, and then you got 2 8s ahead of that in De Bruyne and Jack Grealish. Yeah, that can be long for us, but yeah, Foden in there. Look, they're going to be City. They're going to be up there regardless. Does it make City even more untouchable? Will they win even more games than they used to before? They win a hell of a lot of games. I don't think so. Obviously, it will make them better in that area. But I think the task... Jonathan Pearl says, I hope that Grealish deal collapses. Don't we all, apart from Man City fans. But it is what it is. The task was always big. Whether they get Jack Grealish or they don't get Jack Grealish, like, we'll still be, hopefully, with the signings we're making and the improvements that we're looking to make in and around them. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not watching what other teams do, Flex, says Brush. Let's just concentrate on our thing. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what we got to do. We got to just focus on our own thing and get our own shit together, because these teams are going to get better. Chelsea haven't really made any movements yet. I'm sure they will. Liverpool haven't made anything significant yet, apart from Konate. I'm sure they will. Do you know what I'm saying? Even the likes of Tottenham are probably going to get busy. Arsenal are trying to get busy. Teams are going to get busy. It's just that we got busy a little bit quicker and we still got more business to do. The big channel says... Solskjaer has cleared a lot of players when he came in and had to start from scratch. Doing well, just need silverware. I agree with that. It took Fergie 4 years, just need patience. Yeah, I see that. A lot of people are like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. He ain't going to win nothing. He's not the guy. You can give him all the best players, but he still won't do shit. A lot of people are still saying that, but I still feel that this is the chance for him to prove it. Joel Matic says Sancho is better than Grealish. Two different types of players, two completely different types of players. Eagle-Eyed Football, big up yourself, always in the chat, says keep Dalot, use Trippier money on a DM and loan us Ahmad. You say us? I thought he was a Palace fan. Oh, loan us. Oh, loan Palace. Oh, right, I hear you, yeah. Send Ahmad to Palace on loan. That'd be a good... Tell you what, it'd link up all right. They just lost Townsend. What did you have? Zaha still up front if you still keep him to ransom. Have Eze, who's injured now, but on one side and Ahmad on the other. That'll be all right, isn't it? Ollie is going to succeed, says Connect Real. We're working together this week. Are you going to let me down again? Says, oh, big up, Rory. Yes, Rory. No, you've been letting me down. Hold tight, Rory Jennings in the chat. Huge Chelsea fan. Love working with Rory. Catch us over there on the Triple Eight sports stuff as well. And we're going to be doing some stuff as well. We're going to link up. Yes, Rory. Make sure you check out his channel as well. Is it Rory Jennings TV? Or just type in Rory Jennings anyway. You'll see his channel. Big up, Rory. And yes, we are working together this week. And you don't let me down. We'll sort something out for sure. I'll shout you after this. And David King says, Ollie in. How can anyone be Ollie out after these... Ollie out? How can anyone be Ollie out? I can see why people can be Ollie out. You can't... I don't get at people forgetting that. I just think you can't want him to not prove you wrong though. Like if you're Ollie out, that's fine. But you can't say, you know, I don't want Ollie to do well because I don't think he's a good manager. Well, okay, that's fine. But you must want him to prove you wrong so that Manchester United win. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I don't agree with. Bill Ingram says it's quite surprising that a lot of the Spanish boys who played significant parts in the Euros are playing in the Olympics. No holidays whatsoever. Unreal dedication. Yeah, I was thinking about that just off topic. Even just watching the Olympics, I saw Novak Djokovic go straight from Wimbledon. I know he got knocked out the other day against Zverev, but he done that. Some players are getting even some of the Brazilian guys going straight from the Copa America. I think Richarlison's done that. That is that's tough. Big up Roy says, can't wait, Flex. Geezer, loving your work. Appreciate that. Your channel's flying as well. 35 in here in Cyprus. Lucky you, says Ashes. Big up Rory, funny guy. Says my name's Jim. He is a funny guy. Rory is the most likable Chelsea fan. Big up. A lot of love for Rory. So yeah, when you come on here, you're going to get a lot of love, Rory. Tabarez says, Ollie has done a good job. Lukaku is better than Martial. Ollie has done a good job, ? Lukaku is better than Martial. Basically saying, why did you let him go? Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. You don't know, you know. Martial this season it's a massive season for him. He has to put himself in the bracket of taking himself out of that box that is the forgotten man. He has to, because he is basically the forgotten man. We're forgetting that he can be a good player, and we're forgetting that a fully fit, a fully informed Martial with confidence is fantastic. But I get it. How long is it going to take him to get into that groove? With Rashford being out for 3 months now, Martial's going to have a big integral part to play. Now that game wasn't on Saturday, he's got a bit more extra time to get ready for the Everton game. Hopefully he gets some minutes. And hopefully they do something midweek But it's going to be a big season for him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a space there on the left-hand side because Rashford's going to be out for ages. I think that's going to be occupied with a mixture. Maybe because of that injury to Rashford, maybe Ollie goes with Sancho from the left at the start of the season, just because, you know, he knows that Mason can do it from the right. Maybe he does that, I know, before bringing in Martial. I don't know. We'll have to see. But however way you look at it, it's a massive season for Tony. Andreas Roy says, big up Flex. I think United should go for a Jorginho-type midfielder, a conductor who reads the game well rather than a pure CDM for tenacity. We already have that in Fred. A thought. That's a good point. It's a good point. The reason why I have reservations over that, and I think we do need someone who can get about the pitch, is because we're not going to play both. So we do have Fred who can run around, but if the other player is the one who's just a conductor, which could work. So say you had a Neves and a Fred. Do you know what I'm saying? I get it. Someone like that, or a Tielemans and a Fred. Someone who can play ball a bit, and someone like Fred who can run around a bit. That's great, but we're trying to find a scenario where we're either playing a 4-3-3 with one holding player, or we're going to play a 4-2-3-1, but with Pogba back in there alongside someone who can do all the work and pass at the same time. So I just feel like with what you're saying, I get where you're coming from, but it worries me because if we just play the 4-3-3 with 2 8s and one sitting, and that one who's sitting can't get about the pitch, and we've got 2 lightweight ones in, say, Donny and Bruno, how are we winning that ball back? Bruno's not going to run around and win the ball back. Donny, people are saying he can do that. I'm not so sure. I wouldn't want to put my midfield, I wouldn't want him being the main ball winner in there, even though he can get about the pitch a bit. And then you're going to leave one who might be good on the ball but can't really get about the pitch and isn't tenacious in the tackles. That would worry me. So fair point, Andreas Roy, big up for the comment, but that's my thoughts on it, man. I'm just a little bit more reserved. I got reservations, on the fact that if we're going to have one holding midfielder, they need to be able to do what McTominay and Fred do in one. They need to be a hybrid of that. That's the whole reason why we play McTominay and Fred, because they both do what the other one can't do. Fred does what McTominay can't do, and McTominay does what Fred can't do. So they both need to play. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I see it. Calvin Phillips is the real MG11. I'm not really on the Calvin Phillips train, if I'm honest with you. I'm not. I think he's okay. I think he's good. I just think he's good. Would I buy into the gas of trying to get him right now? Nah, I'd let him stay at Leeds, see how he goes again. I know his stock's gone up because he had a good Euros. That can happen, but I'm not sure about that one. I do like him though. He is good. Manuel Makiria says, Flex, Bruno can defend. Not for me. When have we really seen that? And I know people can you can go to YouTube and type Bruno winning the ball back, and it could be compilations of his best, tackles. But come on, guys. Bruno, he can press and run around, but Bruno does not play disciplined enough to be in our midfield, dropping into a 4-3-3, in my opinion, and winning the ball back. Unless it's a real functional midfield, a midfield that has a whole different complexion than the one ours currently does. I can't see that. I don't know. I can't. The way we play Bruno Fernandes now is like a support striker, second striker. Like I said, old school Pez. When you got SS, support striker, second striker. That's how he plays. Sometimes when Bruno's there, it's almost like we've got a 4-4-2. I've seen it so many times. I'm not just saying that because I go to the games. You guys can see it on TV. Even this whole year where we haven't been watching football live in the flesh, I've seen it. Bruno's like often the furthest player forward, even ahead of Cavani. Yes, because he's tenacious. Yes, because he wants to win the ball back. Yes, because that's how he plays, on the front foot and being energetic and trying to initiate the press and lead by example. But he's supposed to be a midfielder. And that is the reason why I think Ollie says, I need McTominay and Fred in there. Another reason why he needs them, not just because of their limitations, but because we've got Bruno running around doing his own thing, which has worked for us because, that he's high up the pitch and he's influencing the games. I'm not criticising that. But that then, in turn, has an influence on our midfield and the lack of discipline in that area, why you have to play them two holding players, because Bruno is almost like another striker. He's like another forward. I see Bruno as the most attacking midfielders you could possibly get, crossing over into, like I said, a support striker. He's up there sometimes in a 4-4-2 in certain passages of play. He's really up there doing this thing in the final third, which again, it creates us chances and he's having a say over the game, so I don't mind that. But in terms of how our midfield needs to go moving forward, that's why I think I have got reservations about it. Bill Ingram, thanks for the super chat, says it's also a big season for Greenwood. Time to decide whether we need to buy a big boy striker or not. Replacing Cavani could be very expensive. Hopefully he shows we won't need to buy. That is a very good super chat. That is a really good comment, because it's true. In my opinion, though, I think we will need to buy a striker regardless. I don't think Mason is going to show enough, and that's not because I don't believe in him, but it's still really early. He's 18. I don't think Mason, by the time he's 19 years of age this year, is going to prove to us in that short time, especially after where the squad's at, because the squad just is getting to the stage where it just needs a bit of sprinkle. Getting a little bit of a Gnabry celebration there. But the squad is at the point where it just needs a bit of a sprinkle to say, you know what? We need that stardust just to complete the squad. If we keep Pogba and get a defensive mid, keep Cavani for one more year, all you would need, in theory, if it goes to plan, is a Haaland or a Harry Kane. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's where next season you need that sprinkle. So I don't think Greenwood would be ready to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? I really don't. Not in a year, personally. I don't know what you guys think, but I still think we get to the end of next year and then we'll need the long-term fix to fix up front. You know, I really do. Because he hasn't proved it. You know, Greenwood is, what, 18 going on? I think he's 19. 18 going on 19, or 19. I think he's 19. Oh, there you go. I might say he's 19. 18, 19, same thing. In one more year, I don't think he's going to prove that he's an out-and-out striker. Back to goal. I just don't see it. I'm still very confused as to what his best position is, if I'm being honest. I quite like him coming from the right, cutting in onto that left foot, making things happen. I quite like it. Do I see him as an out-and-out 9? Haven't seen enough evidence. Haven't seen him given enough chances up there. He does move quite well. He does link play quite well. He's intelligent. Can he be that long-term for Man United? I'm not sure. He's got a future at Man United, 100%, but I think that could be coming from the right. I don't know. But now Sancho's there, of course, that's going to be a bit of a situation. He's versatile enough to play out there. But if you're asking me, even from now, unless, and this is, again, I hope it doesn't happen, I don't want any injuries to happen. For one reason or another, Cavani couldn't play, and Martial was being used on the left, and Greenwood was up front, and he had the season of his life and really showed us something we didn't expect. I think we get to the end of the next season, and we go, right, we need a Haaland, we need a Kane, we need a striker or someone else by that time. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just what I think. Oh, yeah, Ahmad coming on. Oh, yeah, it's the Olympics now, isn't it? That game's kicked off at 9. What's the score? I want to see that. Noah Gases, an Ajax talent, died last night. He scored 13 goals in 6 games at under 16s. Rest in peace. Wow, that's sad. That is sad, man. Under 16s passed away. If that's true, that's horrible. Lautaro Martinez, mate. Yeah, Arsenal's supposed to be in for him, but he is good. Dylan says, Flex, thoughts on Elanga? Personally, I'd love him to stay with the first team. He's immense, says Dylan Gill. Big up Dylan for that. I really like Elanga. He's honestly, I know it's pre-season and it's difficult in it because you got to weigh it up of what's really going to happen. And if I think with my head, he isn't going to play, bro. He isn't going to play. Do you know what I mean, Dylan? He's not. Like, I just don't see where he's going to get any game time. Dan James is even going to be ahead of him. Do you know what I mean? I can't see that happening at all. On the right-hand side, you've got Sancho, you've got Ahmad to come back unless he goes on loan. I think because Alanga's actually showing that he's doing really well, I think give him the loan. Let him play week in, week out in the Prem or the Championship. You know what I mean? Definitely Championship he can play in. But he's proven like he's got ability, man. I really like the kid. I really, really like him. So yeah, I would probably send him out on loan as well. Listen, guys, we had nearly 1,200 people watching live, which is sick. We're starting to hit that on a regular basis. I think that's the new basis to keep, innit? I think we should do that. Thanks very much for watching, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to be back tomorrow with another transfer update. Hopefully we got a little bit more news going on. The Trippier thing is still rumbling on in the background. The Pogba thing is going to keep rumbling on for a little while. Yeah, I can see that happening. And the hunt for a defensive midfielder is still going on as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Smash a like on the video. We are flying here on United View. We are growing so quickly. That road to 100k is picking up speed. So yeah, keep subscribing, keep liking, drop your comments in the video below. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.